Feast your eyes, boys. I think this is a huge brain deck. Maybe. Or it's really dumb. I don't know. First of all, Allegiance is one of the strongest concepts in the game, and probably the single most unhealthy concept, meta-diversity-wise, in the history of Runeterra. And, I mean, that sounds like an elaborate statement. Obviously, I mean, the history of this game is, like, 2 months. Avros and Outriders is a good card that is in a region that doesn't have enough cards for a mono deck. Okay? That's it. Basilisk Rider is a bad card in a region that doesn't have enough cards for a mono deck. So Basilisk Rider is even further from seeing play. Kinko Wayfinder and Bannerman are obviously both good cards that also have enough cards for their allegiance. And I would say Wraith Caller is maybe on that level. You could argue that Wraith Caller is now a good card that... You could argue Wraith Caller's in the same boat as Outriders. You could argue that now that a few Shadow Isles nerfs have come through, it feels a little too bad to try to play enough Shadow Isles cards for Wraith Caller to make sense. But I would put Wraith Caller kind of between Wayfinder, Bannerman, and Outriders. Wayfinder, Bannerman being the same thing. And then you've got Some Snipe Scavenger, which is... I would say in the same boat as Basilisk Rider, which is it's a weak allegiance that doesn't have enough cards for an allegiance deck. So the one unique thing here is Outriders, which is that it is a good card. It just feels like when you're looking to build a mono for all your deck, there's not enough good cards, and you feel stunted. It feels like it's just not worth doing. Enter this deck. So here's a really toxic interaction. First of all, Braum is a pretty solid card, sort of. He's very meta dependent, he's very counterable, but in theory in the right meta he can shine. Legion Veteran makes him a little bit more reliable. Because of course, if you play Braum on 3 and Veteran on 4, sometimes your Braum can feel quite a bit better. Something about, like, you know, being a little bit less reliant on drawing Take Heart or Second Braum is quite nice. Big deal. Okay? Tarkaz the Tribeless. Fucks. Look at this combo. Look at this curve, baby. Like, look at this shit. Like, actually, think about this. Look at this. Legion Veteran. So it's a 4/4/5, right? It's a 4/4/5. That's a just like fucking ready to fuck stat line. 4/4/5. We all underestimated 4/4/5s because Bull Elnuck is a perfectly playable card, and we like, you know, just looking at it, it doesn't look that playable. This is a 4/4/5 with an upside. With an upside. And just check out this curve. Like, imagine. Let me paint you a picture, okay? It's just a mid-range curvestone deck. Curvestone deck. So you play your 1, you play your 2, you play your 3, you play your 4. You just, you know, you curve out. You're developing the board until you hit 4. You play Legion Veteran. You know, maybe your opponent develops into 4, and then you play Veteran to block. That's great. 4/5 blocker stops their entire attack, right? It's like they're playing Bannerman. They play Bannerman on 4. You play Legion Veteran. Suddenly you've got a blocker that's good for example, their War Chefs. Their War Chefs is a 3/4 now. Your Veteran slaps that ass, right? Veteran's great. A 4/4/5 with an upside. Then on 5 you play Tarkaz. Look at this curve. That's crazy. So you swing your huge dick, and Veteran into Tarkaz will buff your units before the combat step. That's the most important thing. That's the most important thing. So the Veteran Tarkaz swing on 5. All of your units immediately gain 1 attack before the combat step even happens, because Tarkaz will resolve before that step. And then, of course, if the opponent wants to block anything, they'll take the damage. And it's a 5/5/8, right? It's a 5/5/8. So, like, it's a really big potential kind of concept. Here's the one problem with this deck, which is that these colors have kind of no way to interact with the opponent at fast speed. And that's part of the reason I threw in 1 Culling Strike, which, by the way, I kind of fucking hate this card, Culling Strike, but it does sort of solve that problem somewhat. And, I mean, obviously it does have some synergy with Frostbite, which is nice. So basically, what I mean by that is single combat, right? This deck doesn't have a single combat. which is like, you know, you look at any standard banner mid last, and it plays pretty similarly, right? It plays pretty similarly. It's just mid-range, big beef, stat line emphasis, you know, own the board and curve out. And there's no replacement for single combat in either Freljord or Noxus, which is really, really sad. Because single combat is sort of a necessary card here. The ability to, like, react to the opponent's spells is very, very important. Now, what we have is combat tricks. I'm sure some of you guys are saying Whirling Death is similar. It's not. Whirling Death is a combat trick. Whirling Death only interacts during the combat step, right? I need something that's going to be, you know, countering opponents' removals, right? Like if they grasp, single combat counters that. You stop the lifesteal and you get value out of, you know, your unit killing something. That's pretty crazy, right? Or when they play Ezreal, I have a way to kill it that's not just like reliant on combat, and I can kill it right away. I don't have to wait until my attack turn for challenger and then hope that my challenger goes through, right? I can deal with it. In these two colors, the one problem with this entire deck is in these two colors, there's fucking nothing that can interact with the opponent at fast speed. There is Noxian Guillotine, which requires them to be damaged first, which, I mean, that's not really going to happen. There's no Glimpse. Yeah, Glimpse is sort of an answer to that in some ways. There's Culling Strike. Culling Strike is fucking it, and that only answers some things. And that's the big problem with this deck. I don't know, man. I think Legion Veteran... I've been thinking about Legion Veteran for like a week now. Honestly. I've been having dreams about Legion Veteran. It's like a 4-mana 4/5 with an upside. With an upside. How do you break this card? I've been thinking about many ways. Oh, you're a pussy? I see that. Yeah, we're a pussy. Dude, look, listen, fuckers, okay? In 24 hours, if my rating is like 1,000 in 24 hours when they make it hard to climb, I'm fucked. I can't play ranked today. Unless I play with an actual deck. It's just an insane Bull Elnuck? Exactly. That's exactly right. It is an insane Bull Elnuck. Mono. And this is an unironic mono deck. What the heck? You guys will see. You'll all see. You'll soon understand the power of Legion Veteran. Like, it's a 4-mana 4/5, and if it gets buffed by Avaros and Outriders, it's a 4-mana 7/8 Overwhelm. Think about that for a second. 7/8 Overwhelm. And all it has to do is just get buffed by Avaros and Outriders. What deck did you use to get 22 Masters? My new and improved burn list. Look at that shit! And you guys are gonna tell me this isn't crazy? You guys are gonna tell me this isn't fucking nuts, huh? Absolutely bonkers.
Fresh catch.
Okay, what is this guy doing?
Fresh.
So this is a full control meme. He's taken the Karina deck out of Karina. Seems to be my guess. It's probably Ladris Atrocity. Would be my guess. A 0-mana 3/1 is honestly not very good right now. 3/1 is kind of absolute dog on this board. Man, if only Legion Veteran made sense on this board. Okay, that's not a Ledger's deck. Okay, we'll play Outriders. We'll play Outriders.
One Freljord.
I don't know. What this deck does lack is like power 2-drops. It's like we don't have like the tempo 2-drops because Icefell Archer is powerful but a lot more reactive than anything else.
Intruders, stay back.
Okay. I guess I'll play this. I don't know, whatever, sure. It's a 1-mana 3/3 Overwhelm. That seems valuable enough. Deck tracker is off. It should be on if you refresh the page. It should work. See, like, imagine if this deck was running single combat. Like, imagine like that glimpse not going off, and that feels good.
What's that noise?
I mean, in this exact board state, it wouldn't be great because then Outriders would also die for free. But no, imagine a slightly different board state too. Like, that's fucking crazy, dude. How is it so good? Insane? It's insane, dude. It's so good. We have to play the Omanhas first. Maybe he'll tap out of some kind of way to answer this. He's gonna emote. I've got to prepare my emote. He'll do like a Jinx emote, and then I'll counter with Brown emote. No, I don't want to Brown. That's too toxic. He's not emoting. Okay, fine. That's okay. I was prepared for this. It's important to just keep the emote up, just in case, right? Just in case something happens. You need those quicker reactions. Quick reactions are very, very important. So when you go to play an Allegiance card, pop your emote menu up, hover either Darius or Poro, either one's good, and then snap it off if you whiff. This guy's taking some damage here, buddy. Did you read the Master's Ranked changes? Am I correct in understanding that it doesn't change anything outside of making the climb slower and the fall slower? Yes, right? I think so. I think that's the only thing it changed.
Will protect you.
Which is a net negative, Keck W. Depends who you ask. I think it's a net positive, but I think it's not necessarily the change that a lot of people might have wanted. Okay. Sure. I'm just gonna freeze this. God, and you guys didn't believe in this deck. You didn't have faith. Let me ask you this. If this deck was so bad, could it have been able to have... I mean, I've basically won this unranked game. I have a pretty high chance of having 100% win rate in just a minute here. This deck fucks, dude. I'm telling you. Okay, we might lose this game. That Prankster is doing a lot of damage. Too much overwhelm, bro. Too much overwhelm. That's a ballsy play, dude. The balls on this guy, man. I respect it. Sometimes you just gotta have balls, dude. Sometimes you just gotta go in big. Sometimes you just gotta ignore those casual 8 outs for fucking hard countering that play and just move in. Move in against the 8 outs. I've never seen balls like that. I've actually...
United, nothing can stop
Jesus
us.
Christ.
Elner could use a bath.
Tarkaz doing work here? Yeah. Tarkaz fucks, dude. I mean, I know I haven't played him yet, but trust me, if I did, he would fuck. When you're behind, you gotta get greedy. No, I know. Unironically, that's respect. That's the sign of a good player. You need to know how to grow balls and take, like, long odds. That is actually, like, that is probably proper in that position. I mean, he's quite a bit behind. I don't know, man. Overwhelm is just good, dude. Here's the thing. Here's what you guys need to understand. Do you guys understand the synergy yet? Do you get it? Do you fucking like think about it. Here's the thing. Think about it. The problem with Tarkaz is he turns your opponent's 1/1 blockers into ghost blockers, chumps, because they'll still be able to get the block off. So you just combine Tarkaz with Overwhelm and you're fucking Gucci, dude. It's the ultimate deck. This deck, there's no downside here. It's all upside. 100% win rate. In unranked. Scar Mother Vrina? I was thinking about Scar Mother. I was thinking about it. I could top end with like one Scar Mother.